Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be talking about the Artificer, that strange class that was introduced in the Eberron books and then expanded upon in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. The Artificer has 4 subclasses that define them quite specifically, and they're well-balanced subclasses. Today, we're going to be talking about the Artillerist, the damage-dealing Artificer, they're sold that way anyway, and someone who focuses on doing blaster type magical damage. The Artillerist is a subclass you choose at 3rd level. Straight away when you choose it, you get tool proficiencies. You get proficiency with Woodcarver's tools, which is an interesting choice. If you already have that proficiency, you get another one of your choice, which is nice for the versatility. However, Artificers already have 3 or 4 tool proficiencies by this point, based on their background and their class choice and all the rest of it. So, honestly, this is a 7 out of 10 thing for me. Not bad, but it's probably not going to make or break your Artificer what you choose here. You also get an expanded spell list, just like the Cleric. These are always prepared for you. And it's a pretty good list, if I'm honest. The Artillerist spells are, usually they don't have the biggest spell list, but this adds a lot. Shield and Thunder Wave, Scorching Ray, Fireball, Wall of Fire, Wall of Force. These are all amazing spells. And honestly, I think this entire list deserves a solid 9 out of 10. Just, really peak damage dealing potential here. Then, also at level 3, you get the Eldritch Cannon, and this is what we're really here for. Using your Woodcarver's tools or your Smith's tools, you create a small or tiny, it's basically a little droid that follows you around. They can have wheels or legs. It's a magical object with its own AC and hit points, and you can use your bonus action to command it. When you command it, it can do one of 3 things. It can either do a fire spray a la Burning Hands, a 15-foot cone. It can do a Force Ballista, which is a ranged force attack against a specific creature. It can also emit temporary hit points, a burst of them, to the party. And it's not bad. These things are, powered by your spell save DC, and it's a nice thing. It's one of the best pets you can get in the game, and considering that you make it yourself, it's a fun thing to have, and I think it definitely deserves a 9 out of 10. Now, at level 5, you get your Arcane Firearm. You turn a wand or staff into an Arcane Firearm. Think of it like an advanced version of an Arcane Focus. You do this at the end of a long rest, and when you cast your Artificer spells through the Arcane Firearm, you get to add a d8 to one of the spell damage rolls. And that's okay. It's definitely bumping the damage. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to make a difference between an Artillerist casting Firebolt and another Artificer or other spellcaster casting it, and I think it deserves an 8 out of 10 for sure. Now, at level 9, you get Explosive Cannon. This is a boost in power for your Arcane Eldritch Cannon. The damage rolls go up, and as an action, you can command your cannon to self-destruct, dealing force damage to enemies around it against a dex save. This is a nice thing, especially considering that you are not reliant on your cannon, and if it's about to go down or about to die, the damage doesn't diminish. So it's a nice last-ditch effort for your cannon to be helpful, and because you can create the cannon with a spell slot instead of with a long rest, you can just kind of pop one back into existence if you need to. All in all, I'd say that's a 9 out of 10 feature. It's really nice to have the extra damage in a pinch. And then finally, at level 15, you get Fortified Position. This is another boost to the Eldritch Cannon. You get half cover when you're near the cannon within 10 feet, very reminiscent of a Paladin's aura. Half cover is a +2 to your AC, so if you and your allies stay near the cannon, that's a great defensive boost. And you get to have 2 of them. You can control both of them with the same bonus action, and it just really puts the cannon where you want it. Lots of defensive power, lots of offensive capabilities, and 2 at a time. If you want to send one forward, keep one back, that's a great strategy. Split them up around the battlefield. You get a lot of coverage with these things. And they're not the most powerful things in the world, but it's a bonus action damage. And just like any other pet-wielding class or subclass, these ones are pretty good for what they are. And I give the Fortified Position a 10 out of 10 for its just raw applicability with the armor class and the doubling down. This is really a subclass that doubles down on what it does prior to, and I think the Artillerist is a very enticing choice. I say it's an 8 out of 10 overall. Not the strongest blaster in the game by any means, but probably a very, very good pick for someone who wants to have the utility and magical items of the Artificer, but really just wants to do as much damage with their spells as possible. I say go for it. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.